Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here. You will want to watch this episode to the very end. Without wasting much time, let's dive right in. And hey, Merry Christmas. Right off the bat, we start with a camping experience that many of us might not want, yet is so thrilling to see. Take a look. This was recorded by a group of friends that had gone camping. They brought a camera along to document their adventure in the wilderness and vlog their stay. After pitching their tent and settling in, they decided to take a walk before calling it a night. What they didn't realize was that they had accidentally left their camera recording as they explored the area. What you are seeing is just a small part of what the camera managed to record, and yes, that's an ape-like humanoid creature moving through their camp. It appears to be covered in thick, dark fur with a dome-shaped head. They do appear taller than the average human, and with a little bit of camera magic, some members of the paranormal community, where this was uploaded, estimated these creatures to be around 9 feet tall. This was calculated by superimposing the part of the clip that captured the height of the campers. Using their heights, we were able to calculate the approximate and possible height of the ape-like creatures that came after them. Speaking of the creature, many members of the community believe he's Bigfoot. I probably didn't have to mention that once you saw the clip, and while it does look very convincing, a significant percentage of the paranormal community remains skeptical about its authenticity. Some argue that the gait of the creature isn't just human-like, but probably is human. To them, the creature could just be someone in a suit. There are some who also think it's probably CGI. Amidst the skepticism, however, there are a few in the paranormal community who think this is the real deal. You've seen the clip as well, so what do you think? So this video was recorded by a mother who was capturing her little girl's antics on Snapchat. In the clip, we see the toddler crawling around on the ground playing, but then something unusual happens. As the little girl crawls forward, her right leg suddenly jerks backwards, almost as though someone had grabbed and pulled it. For a moment, you might think the child was losing her balance, but when you watch closely, it's clear that this was not an ordinary tumble. The girl stops abruptly, turns her head to the side, and stares at the spot from where her leg was tugged. Her expression changes quickly, and she begins to whine as if sensing something her mother could not. If you didn't catch all that the first time, take a second and critical look. Pay attention to her leg. The exact moment it's raised and pulled back. Do you see it? Interesting, right? If you see nothing out of the ordinary, well, don't worry, there are many others who share the same sentiment as you. In fact, the clip has left the community divided, as there are some who think the child merely lifted her leg and lost balance for a second or two. They disagree with all who state that there's a spirit or otherworldly being involved. But you've seen the clip for yourself. Which of these two views are you going to side with? Now this is something new. See those round patterns on the floor? They're magically appeared in the backyard of the lady who filmed this clip. She had been sleeping and woke up during the night. Not sure why she did it, but she looked into her backyard and saw these. Etched into the ground were perfect circles forming a trail, all leading in a single direction until they split at a point. These aren't the usual kinds of tracks you'd expect to see from animals or even humans. They're just a sequence of evenly spaced circular impressions in the sand. Usually, if an animal had wandered through, you'd spot distinctive patterns like paws, hooves, or claws, but these were entirely different. Perfectly round and eerily uniform, the marks seemed almost mechanical or unnatural in origin. Given all the strange things happening in our skies recently, many are suspecting aliens, or at least the drones seen globally, have something to do with it. But what say you? Now, here's an even more shocking perspective or update on the mysterious drones in the sky over New Jersey. Individuals have been taking a closer look at these so-called drones, and what they've discovered is truly baffling. It seems these aren't mechanical objects at all. Instead, they're described as glowing balls of light, plasma-like entities now being referred to as plasmoids. This revelation has sparked a whirlwind of speculation. Some believe these plasmoids could be luminous entities, possibly even angels or divine beings. But the theories do not stop there. For those with apocalyptic fears, these glowing orbs might signal something far more ominous. Some believe they could be angels heralding the end times, preparing for a celestial war. Honestly, I can't even blame people for entertaining these wild ideas. The sheer number of these plasmoids, if they are truly that, seen in the sky has left people unsettled. Their mysterious presence, combined with the lack of official explanations, only fuels the growing unease. This eerie footage was captured by a property owner who set up a trail cam in his backyard. His property borders a dense woodland area, a part of his land that he says has always given him the creeps. For weeks, he's been complaining about strange noises coming from the woods at night. To get to the bottom of it all, he set up the trail cam, hoping to discover whatever it was that was disturbing his peace. The result is what you see on your screen. In the footage, a hazy, translucent figure can be seen moving among the trees. The figure appears to be humanoid, running on two legs. We may have called it human if we could see its full form. Instead, we're greeted with a form that's faint and almost ghostly. The homeowner seems to have found what he's looking for, but it doesn't seem like something he can get rid of. This prompted him to share online. Some who saw it thought it was a humanoid. Others felt it was probably a skinwalker cloaking itself. Can't say with certainty which it could be, but let's say it's got the community hyped. A woman took her child to the playground and was sitting nearby facing the trees. That's when she saw something strange and decided to start recording. One of the trees at the back wasn't just swaying with the wind, it was actually moving. It seemed to be shifting from one spot to another upright the entire time. Just look at that. The tree didn't look like it was being carried, and if something was lifting it, you'd expect it to lean or at least wobble, but no, this tree stayed steady as it moved across the ground. It's almost like it grew legs and decided to start walking while the other tree stayed completely still. The whole thing is just so bizarre that it's hard to wrap your head around. Can trees really just get up and move like that, or is there something we're not seeing? On December the 20th, 2024, a resident of West Valley in Phoenix, Arizona, shared a video that quickly grabbed attention online. The footage shows a row of lights hovering in the night sky. These lights, eerily aligned, appear to pulsate and shift through different colors. The sight is strangely familiar to many who remember the infamous Phoenix Light incident from 1997. Back then, thousands of people across Arizona reported seeing an enormous V-shaped formation of lights that moved silently across the sky. Now, in 2024, it seems history might be repeating itself. Could this be a reappearance of the mysterious phenomenon that baffled experts and witnesses alike nearly 3 decades ago, or is this something entirely new? This next one comes straight from the iconic Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. What you're about to see has left onlookers baffled. A strange object was allegedly captured floating on the surface of the water below the bridge. It's spherical in shape and illuminated by lights that shift and pulse in a mesmerizing array of colors. At first glance, it looks like it could be some kind of advanced buoy or high-tech gadget, but the way the lights shimmer and change has left many questioning its origin. Witnesses claim it doesn't behave like anything they've ever seen before. Could this be a high-tech piece of equipment, some sort of research device, or do you think it's something entirely otherworldly? Given the Golden Gate Bridge's popularity, it's surprising that no one has come forward with an official explanation yet, don't you think? Someone recently shared an intriguing image they captured in their front yard. By their dog, there's this bright, radiant light illuminating the area. The person who took the photo believes it's an angel, a celestial being watching over them. At first glance, it's easy to see why they'd think so. The light has an almost ethereal glow, as if not entirely of this world. But if you look closer, there's room for a more grounded explanation. It could be the camera's flash reflecting off a nearby glass window, or some other surface creating that otherworldly effect. The ambiguity of the image is what makes it so fascinating. So what's your conclusion on this one? Illusion, camera glitch, or something truly otherworldly? Let's hear from you in the comments section. While you wrap your head around that, take a look at this clip that was sent in by a subscriber on this channel named John. This, according to him, was filmed in the woods of southern Indiana on a trail camera he had set up. Although it finally becomes a ball of light or lightning, the capture initially starts off looking like a thin line of light and eventually grows into a ball of light. After looking at the clip over and over, my team found itself trying to decide and come to a conclusion on what the trail cam could have captured. We compared it to similar phenomenon, and one thing that kept coming up is it being an orb. Now, we've also considered orbs as a sign of spiritual activity, so seeing this made some of my team members conclude that there might have been some sort of spiritual activity ongoing at the point this was captured. There were also some in the team who subscribed to the idea of it being a lightning ball, which John himself had mentioned in the mail he sent us. There were also the idea of this being a flying rod. For those unfamiliar with it, flying rod refers to elusive rod-like objects often captured in photographs or videos, particularly in outdoor settings. They appear to move rapidly, often leaving a trail of blurry wings behind them, giving them an almost alien or supernatural appearance. Looking at this clip, however, I don't think that's the situation here. My money is on it being an orb, indicative of some paranormal or extraterrestrial activity. That's just my view, however. What do you guys also think? No, you are not imagining things. They are actually making fake Coca-Cola. They're somehow managing to crack the code, or at least make something convincingly similar that they were able to sell in India for many weeks or months before getting exposed. Just take a look at the condition of this place. It's filthy, unorganized, and highly unsanitary. It's concerning, to say the least. It's alarming that these individuals somehow managed to package and distribute this fake Coca-Cola to unsuspecting consumers. It's not just deceitful, but downright dangerous, as consuming such beverages could lead to serious health issues. What's even scarier is the thought of how much of this counterfeit soda is already out there. This incident raises critical questions about food safety and the lengths some will go for profit, no matter the risks to others. This footage comes from Barbados and shows a strange encounter filmed at night. The man was walking when he stumbled upon an old abandoned boat left on land. Suddenly, he started hearing strange noises coming from under the boat. Curious and a little unnerved, he used his phone's flashlight to investigate, and what he saw was chilling. Beneath the boat, a strange creature appeared to be moving, a goblin-like figure caught on camera. The footage left many viewers stunned, sparking debates online about whether this was proof of something supernatural. However, the mystery didn't last long. It was later revealed that the footage might not be real, but rather a clever use of CGI. The person who shared the video is known for posting similar creature-themed content from Barbados. He has several videos featuring supposed sightings of bizarre creatures, but many viewers now believe his work is more about creating compelling CGI than documenting real events. Despite this, you have to admit, he did a great job making it look convincing. Hopefully we don't run into more footage from him and mistake them for the real deal. This video was shared by a man who was driving on an overpass when he noticed several police cars parked on the street below. The road was completely blocked off and officers were swarming around what appeared to be some kind of craft on the ground. It looks a lot like one of those New Jersey drones might have gone down, or is it maybe something else? After doing a lot of digging, Aaron was left disappointed. Apparently, the craft looks like the Cessna 172, a small, well-known aircraft. After a little more digging, he discovered that this might have happened in Portland. Yeah, a simple plane crash and not something alien, a more grounded yet disappointing explanation. On that note, it's my hope and prayer that we all have a safe travel during this Christmas. Yeah, it's a wild trail cam capture and it's got the paranormal community buzzing and excited. This looks like a dog man, doesn't it? It was allegedly captured on a trail cam at an undisclosed location. It appears to be feeding on something. We're not sure what it is, but it does seem content. Some who saw this believe it's the real deal, but many feel otherwise. They feel this is forged and not real. They feel this is an AI creation, and taking a second look, I can understand where they're coming from. But you've seen the capture yourself, so what do you think? Real, or did AI have something to do with it? It's no joke when people say the world feels like a scripted mess sometimes, and just take a look at this live broadcast show.
That is how close it is. And it's another 2 days from there to where I live in Pokrovsk, in Donetsk, now.
In the footage, a woman from the audience appears to be asking a question expressing a genuine concern. but watch closely. As she's talking, you can see the man sitting right beside her mouthing the exact same words she's saying. It's as if they're in sync. This means they're both reading from a prompter. It makes you wonder how much of what we see on TV is actually authentic. We're mostly led to believe that people in these situations are sharing their real thoughts and concerns, but in reality, it seems more like a carefully staged performance.
And those fuel bills and those food bills are us fighting a war in the only way that we currently at home currently can.
A few months ago, news broke out about astronauts on the Boeing Starliner returning from space and undergoing medical treatments for certain issues after their mission. But recently, an image has been going viral and it's causing quite a stir. The photo shows the astronauts who apparently won't be returning to Earth taking a selfie while wearing a Christmas hat in space. It's an odd situation to say the least. The timeline doesn't seem to add up. If these astronauts were dealing with medical issues after their return, how is this photo from space making the rounds now? Is this an error in communication, a misunderstanding, or something else entirely? Can anyone knowledgeable on it enlighten us?
Time of year up here, we get to spend it with all of our family up on the International Space Station. There's 7 of us up here, and so we're going to get to enjoy company together.
Someone discovered this peculiar mummy. The details surrounding its discovery, such as where it was found and what it truly is, are unknown. What we do know is what we can observe. This is a tiny alien-like mummy that has been preserved in a fetal position. The most striking feature of this strange figure is its disproportionately large head, which is eerily similar to the depictions of extraterrestrial beings. Its body appears fragile and compact, with limbs curled inward. Do you think this is a genuine remains of an alien baby or a human creation? This fascinating photo comes from the Dead Sea. In the image, a strange whitish structure is rising from the sea floor. This formation is known as the White Smoker. White smokers are formed from sea salt deposits in areas where the sea floor is unstable. The instability often leads to sinkholes, making these salt towers not just uniquely natural phenomena, but potentially early warning signs of geological activity. Researchers believe that spotting these formations in their early stages could provide valuable clues to predicting sinkholes and their locations. Could these white smokers become key tools in understanding and mitigating the dangers of sinkholes in the future? Only time and continued research will tell. Recently, a deeply disturbing incident took place at the Amtrak station in Wasco, California. A pedestrian was tragically struck by a train, resulting in the severing of his leg. As horrifying as that is, what followed took the bizarre to an entirely new level. Eyewitnesses claim they saw a homeless man picking up the severed leg, calmly walking to the side of the road, and to everyone's disbelief, biting into it. Yeah, you read that right. The man, later identified as 27-year-old Rosendo Tellez, was arrested after the shocking act. Footage of the incident has been shared online, albeit heavily censored. But even with the blurring, the unsettling nature of his actions remains unclear. Police apprehended Tellez, and among several charges, he's now facing one for carrying human remains. This entire episode is one of the most bizarre and unsettling incidents you can imagine, both tragic and grotesque in equal measure. Two witnesses recently shared an intriguing video they captured in Washington, D.C. The footage focuses on the iconic Capitol building, but it's not the structure itself that's drawing attention, it's what's in the skies around it. On the right side of the building, there are distant, faintly blinking lights. The observers behind the camera dismiss these as aeroplanes, even though they're far off and tiny. Their movements are characteristic of aircraft. However, the left side of the Capitol tells a different story. There, a set of stationary lights could be seen blinking and subtly changing colors. Behind the camera, the witnesses discuss the possibility that these stationary blinking lights could be UFOs. What do you think? Are the aliens really here?
They're not moving. They're staying stationary. They're hovering.
A woman was recording a video of her toddler when something truly unexpected happened. Behind the child, a tiny humanoid figure darted across the room in a quick, almost sneaky manner. Taking a closer look, there it is, right there in the background. The footage, while slightly blurry, is clear that this creature is non-human. Its small stature, rapid movement, and odd proportions have sparked a lot of speculation online. Many viewers believe this is a duende. While I'm all for the paranormal, this doesn't feel like it's paranormal. After consulting with my editor, he confirms the figure appears to be running at a different frame rate than the rest of the clip. It's almost as if he was inserted into it. You know what gets inserted into normal clips, animations, and CGI. If that's the case, this was edited to mislead us. Also, the child's reaction isn't natural. If there was a small creature running around the child, it would have reacted and been scared. Sure, even if the child didn't see, it would hear. The mother's reaction would also have been instantaneous. She might have even thrown her phone away, but hey, what do I know? Perhaps this is how people behave when an otherworldly creature shows up in their home around their children. Two separate videos were captured just one day apart that have left people questioning. The first was taken on December the 20th, 2023 in Puerto Rico. A resident managed to capture a strange streak of light descending through the atmosphere, its fiery trail glowing against the night sky. The following evening on December the 21st, another resident, this time in Arkansas, recorded something eerily similar. However, this time there wasn't just one light, there were many streaking through the darkness in a coordinated display. These were not fireworks. The movements were too natural, too deliberate. Now, what are the odds that these two events, occurring back-to-back nights in completely different locations, aren't connected? If you know anything about the paranormal enthusiasts, you know that there are alien theories flying around already. If you had seen the Transformers movie, the first one, you know this is somewhat how they entered the Earth's atmosphere, looking like meteors. They appeared in different locations, and it was a tactical move. Not sure why, but the way these meteor showers occurred back to back has got me thinking something may or could have entered our atmosphere. I know it's a long stretch, but it's not impossible. Is it?
Dude, what is that?
Look.
A man was biking through a wooded area late at night when he heard the unmistakable sound of a baby crying. The cries sounded unnervingly close, yet there were no sign of a baby anywhere nearby. He didn't stop riding, didn't even pause to investigate. Instead, he simply kept pedaling until he reached the safety of his home. The sound stayed with him, though, lingering in his thoughts. Many cultures have lore about creatures that mimic the cries of a baby to lure unsuspecting people into danger. Could this have been one of those entities? If so, his decision to keep moving might have been the wisest choice. But the question remains, should he have stopped to check, just in case there really was a baby in distress? The bald eagle has long been synonymous with America's identity, featured on the Great Seal, currency, and countless patriotic symbols. Yet it wasn't officially recognized as the national bird until December 2024, when President Joe Biden signed a bill cementing its status. This move finally formalized what many had assumed for generations. Similarly, the American bison was officially named the national mammal in 2016. This designation honored the bison's cultural and historical significance, particularly its role in Native American heritage and its remarkable conservation story. Despite these clear facts, some confusion persists. Myths about a hawk once being the national bird or claims of a secret government change have circulated. However, there's no record of a hawk ever holding this title, and the bald eagle has been a prominent symbol since 1782, albeit unofficially. At least that's what the government says. This confusion has sparked discussions about the Mandela effect, a phenomenon where large groups of people remember something entirely different to what actually happened. This may explain why some are convinced of alternate realities where a hawk was the national bird or where the bald eagle's status has been suddenly altered. In reality, the bald eagle's symbolic role has remained consistent for over 2 centuries. Ultimately, the bald eagle and the bison now stand as official symbols of America's heritage, embodying the values of freedom, strength, and resilience. While misunderstandings and myths persist, these designations celebrate the enduring legacy of these iconic animals in shaping the nation's identity. So while the story of their recognition might surprise some, it's a reminder of how deeply these symbols are ingrained in the American consciousness. Here's another capture sent in by John again. According to him, a friend of his captured this on his trail camera in North Alberta, Canada. The big question is, what exactly are we looking at? My go-to logical explanation would have been along the lines of a satellite, but John mentions they double-checked and there are no satellites in the area. It doesn't look like or move like a plane either, so alien? That's what Aaron seems to believe. Other members of the team have tried to come up with a logical explanation, and yet none of them sound logical enough to be accepted. We are gonna need your help on this one. What do you guys think we're dealing with here? Please share your thoughts in the comments section, as John and I will be reading. A couple was out hiking during broad daylight when they noticed something unusual in the sky. It was a triangular-shaped object clearly visible in the daylight with a blinking red light in the center. This sighting immediately caught their attention. Given the shape and the blinking light, it's easy to jump to the conclusion that this could be a UFO. While there are many possible explanations ranging from experimental aircraft to drones, its shape and appearance certainly make it stand out from conventional flying objects. If it wasn't easily unidentifiable, this couple's suspicion of it being a UFO would make sense. When it makes its way online, however, many in the community stated that it had to be a TR-3B. For those unfamiliar with it, the TR-3B, often referred to as a secret advanced military aircraft, is the subject of a popular conspiracy theory that suggests it's a top-secret anti-gravity vehicle developed by the US government. According to these claims, the TR-3B was built using reverse engineering alien technology and has been used by various military branches for covert operations. Conspiracy theorists believe the aircraft has been kept hidden from the public, with sightings often attributed to its ability to perform maneuvers beyond the capabilities of conventional aircraft, such as hovering silently or achieving rapid, erratic movements. Some even suggest that the TR-3B is linked to classified projects. Physically, the TR-3B is often described as a triangular or pyramid-shaped craft with a dark metallic surface and 3 bright lights or pulsating orbs on its corners. These lights are thought to be related to the propulsion system, which is believed to involve anti-gravity technology. Despite numerous sightings and theories surrounding its existence, the TR-3B has never been officially confirmed by any government agency, leading many to view it as a piece of speculative military technology or as part of a broader UFO cover-up. Looking at the clip, do you think this could be the real deal? Let us know in the comments section.
Red light in the middle.
Wow. That's a weird crap.
It is. The red light is right in the center of the triangle. That's unusual.
Someone captured footage of this massive insect, and honestly, it's hard to look away. It looks like some kind of nightmarish hybrid between a scorpion and giant fly. And it has two enormous pincers on its head, almost like scorpion's claws, and large translucent wings that seem way too big for its body. It turns out it's a real creature, and it's called the Dobson fly. These insects are allegedly found in many parts of the world and are known for their size and those huge pincers, especially on the males. As intimidating as they look, don't worry, the Dobson fly isn't particularly dangerous to humans. The pincers are more for show than anything else, and while it might give you a harmless pinch, it's not venomous. A man went deep into the woods to explore an abandoned house that was rumored to hold a mysterious past. With nothing but a flashlight and his camera, he cautiously approached the structure. Just as he was about to enter, something caught his eye from the inside. Staring back at him through a shattered window was a face, if you can even call it that. The skin was deeply wrinkled, almost leathery, and a sinister sneer twisted its expression into something unnatural. Without wasting another second, he bolted out of there, leaving the house. What could that have been? It didn't look human, at least not entirely. Was it some kind of spirit, a cryptid, or something beyond our understanding?
Got home from work and you had to see what I caught on camera. This is so f***ed up.
Right there.
What is that? Hurry, look right there. Look.
Humans can be unbelievably cruel at times. Recently, a TikToker shared a video of a mysterious drone she'd spotted in the sky. The footage itself was intriguing, but instead of focusing on the video, which I found to be very interesting, many people flooded her comments section with unnecessary and harsh criticism about her appearance and the way she spoke. Why do people feel the need to focus on tearing others apart instead of appreciating what they bring to the table? The negativity overshadowed the footage she'd captured, showing just how quick people can be to judge or tear someone down without reason. Please be kind. We may not always agree on these paranormal stuff, but, we can agree on the fact that we are human and everyone deserves a bit of kindness. Back to the drone clip she captured, I believe they are unique and we need more footage from her part of the world to cross-check all we've collated so far.
Oh, it's a helicopter.
What is that? That is not a helicopter.
I don't know.
With all the drones, orbs, and strange sightings flooding the skies from coast to coast, people are understandably on edge. There's a mix of curiosity, fear, and frustration about what these phenomena could mean. However, it seems our concerns might soon be addressed. The latest buzz is that President-elect Trump is being briefed on the mysterious drone situation, and rumors suggest he may be preparing to make a full disclosure to the public. For many, this is a thrilling prospect, finally a chance to learn the truth about what's been happening in our skies. But that excitement also comes with a layer of unease. What if the announcement confirms what so many have been suspecting? What if these objects are not man-made but extraterrestrial? Hearing that aliens are not only real but have been quietly visiting or observing us all along, would that bring a sense of closure, or would it spark a whole new wave of questions and fears?
I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should.
Late one night, a security guard was in a monitor room idly scanning through the feeds of various cameras around the facility grounds. It was supposed to be a quiet shift, but then something caught his eye. On one of the cameras, outside in the dead of night, he noticed an eerie sight, something he'd never seen before. There, just outside the facility's perimeter, a smoky humanoid figure seemed to be moving erratically, almost as if it were running in a circle. The shape was shrouded in a thick, ghostly mist, its form shifting and blurring, but clearly taking on the silhouette of a person. The figure's movement was unnerving. It had an unnatural fluidity, almost gliding as it circled the same spot. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure darted directly toward a wall and vanished into thin air. Instead of investigating, he grabbed his phone and recorded the strange activity straight from the monitor. No one has been able to tell what that was. The guard still wonders what he saw and is grateful he didn't venture outside that night. After all, who knows what might have been waiting for him in the darkness. This next footage comes from a security guard working through the night shift at a booth in Mexico. His unsettling experience was captured by the security camera facing the booth, and what it shows is pretty eerie. It was late at night, and the camera captured the booth sitting on the roadside, with darkness stretching out on the left. Out of nowhere, a white figure appeared in the darkness, standing still, facing the booth. Moments later, almost like clockwork, the guard came out to check what was there. He stood looking at the exact spot the figure had appeared, and then quickly went back inside the booth. According to the guard, he'd spotted the figure on the monitors and came out to investigate, but when he got outside, there was nothing there. Here's where it gets stranger. If you look closely at the footage, you'll notice that the figure splits in two and floats away just before the guard arrives. It's as if the figure vanished into thin air right in front of him. It seems whatever it was did not want him to see it. Sea monsters and ancient giant serpents have always sparked heated debates. Some people believe these tales to be true, while others dismiss them as myths, but every so often, something surfaces that reignites the mystery. Take a look at this drone footage captured over a lake. The owner of the footage was simply trying to film the landscape when something unexpected happened. In the water, there was this enormous creature moving beneath the surface. Its long body caused massive waves as it swam, making it clear this was no regular fish. What kind of creature could cause such a disturbance? Could it be a modern-day sea serpent, or perhaps some undiscovered species lurking in our waters? Have you ever had one of those heart-pounding near-death moments? Well, check this out. Security footage captured a scene that will give you chills. A person casually walking into a store, and just as they close the door behind them, a metal slab comes flying straight into the door, smashing against it with force. It all happened in a split second. If they had been even a step slower, it could have been a disaster. A split-second delay could have had him split. Sorry. I just had to. A lot of strange encounters have led us to question whether we're truly alone on this planet. Sure, some evidence seems a bit far-fetched, but some pieces of footage are just too compelling to ignore. Take this footage for instance. It was captured by a trail camera in the woods, and it shows a humanoid figure crouched down behind a tree. It almost appears as if it's hiding, staying low to the ground. Then out of nowhere, this person, if we can even call it that, launches itself from the ground straight up onto the high tree branch with incredible ease. Now, keep in mind that the distance between the ground and the branch is considerable, much more than a human could easily manage. Yet this figure made it look effortless. This doesn't seem like a person. The movement, the strength, the precision, it's almost impossible for a human to pull that off without equipment or some sort of assistance. So what are we really seeing here? A woman recently shared a video on social media, excitedly unwrapping a stack of presents. As she opened a compact round mirror and angled it toward the camera, a chilling sight appeared. In the reflection, viewers could see the pale face of a young man, almost as if someone was standing just behind the camera, watching her. Later, when she rewatched the footage, she was horrified. She knew she had been completely alone while filming, and even posted a follow-up video showing her setup. The camera was facing her empty backyard. So what or who was that eerie face in the mirror? A passerby in an unknown location caught something on camera that left everyone scratching their heads. It was a silhouette of what looked like a person floating down from the sky. It wasn't like a regular landing, though. It gently touched down on the side of a building, holding on with one hand like it was no big deal. But here's where it gets even weirder. On the other hand, it started making strange, deliberate movements, almost like it was controlling something. Above it, this odd object hovered in the air, following the figure's every movement. It's hard to make sense of this. Was it some kind of high-tech stunt, or maybe something more mysterious? Watching the footage, it's easy to feel a little unsettled. What do you think? Next, we visit the woods where a strategically positioned trail camera has captured something rather interesting. Take a look. Who does that look like? The big guy himself, right? If the original post is to be believed, then this is definitely one of the clearest clips we've had of Bigfoot. The individual didn't give us a lot of context or information, so we don't know where this was captured, only that it was captured this year. While some in the community are excited about the capture, there are some who feel the whole thing is a hoax and could have been generated with AI. While I get the concerns, if this is truly real, then it's safe to say that Bigfoot is basically more human-like with fur than that of an ape. Anyway, what do you guys also think? A homeowner with a security camera set up outside his secluded house, deep within a wooded area, thought he'd seen it all. But then one night, something unsettling happened. He awoke suddenly in the early hours with an intense feeling of unease. He brushed it off and went back to sleep, chalking it up to nerves. The next morning, still curious, he decided to review the footage. What he saw left him chilled. In the middle of the night, while he was fast asleep, a strange white apparition appeared from the shadows of the woods on the left side of the screen. The figure was faint but unmistakable, a glowing, ghostly form moving toward a large tree. It seemed to glitch, its form flickering and warping, then it vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. He's never experienced something like this before, so he's no clue what this could be. Perhaps a spirit, a glitch in reality, or something else entirely. What do you think it could be? China is at it again. They've introduced a public restroom that can scan your urine for diseases for just $3. It's almost unbelievable, right? Imagine walking into a bathroom, doing your business, and getting a health diagnosis all in one go. It's both convenient and mind-blowing. Just when we thought we'd seen it all, China stepped up with yet another futuristic idea. This level of accessibility to health monitoring could change the game for early detection of diseases and make healthcare more proactive and affordable. What do you think? Could this be the future of public health for everyone? While you share your thoughts on that, have you ever wondered what your cat thinks of you? Well, this next clip might just hold the answer. So according to this clip that has gone viral since its upload, some scientists have managed to reconstruct what a cat makes of the visual stimuli it sees. When they applied the tech to cats seeing humans, the results were, well, interesting. The clip shows the input or original stimuli on the left and then the cat's vision or interpretation of the stimuli on the right. So we have the input and then the output. Do you see the differences? Naturally, this led to a plethora of responses online. While some were excited about the whole thing, others were very skeptical. Personally, I believe that if tech like this existed, it would be mainstream, as its applications in various sectors, especially health, would be endless. But then again, that's just me. What do you guys think? Back in August, a Tennessee resident shared some eerie footage that has left people wondering. The man said he was just hanging out on his porch one night with a friend when suddenly everything lit up out of nowhere. The footage captured by security cameras doesn't show the sky, unfortunately, but you can see the surroundings light up, almost like something was moving across the area. According to the witness, it was a massive ball of light that appeared and moved across the sky. Despite the lack of other reports or footage, this clip feels genuine. So what could it be? A UFO sighting? Or maybe just an unusual weather phenomenon? What's your take? Remember when we talked about the potential for scientists to record our dreams like movies? Well, it turns out there's more to that story than we might have imagined. A neurological tech company called REM Space has developed technology that could allow two people to communicate directly within their dreams. Here's how it supposedly works. Using specialized equipment, REM Space can induce lucid dreaming in both individuals, meaning that each person will be fully aware they're dreaming and, incredibly, have control over their actions within the dream. Then they connect via earbuds designed to transmit thoughts and communications from one dreamer to the other. The technology, still in experimental stages, aims to enable seamless conversation and interaction in a shared dream state. Would you give it a try? The Loch Ness Monster has been a creature of legend for years, with countless sightings reported over time, though we still aren't sure if it's all a hoax or if there's some truth to it. Recently, a man in Scotland sent his drone out over a body of water and captured what he believes could be the elusive Loch Ness Monster. In the footage, a massive wave appears on the water's surface, and right at the edge of the wave, you can spot a small head briefly rising before disappearing back into the depths. While this new footage adds to the growing number of sightings, I still can't help but ask, was this Nessie, or is it just another hoax? While you guys share your thoughts on that, prepare to share your thoughts on this clip recorded in Mexico as well. So the clip opens up with a couple of lights in the sky that appear to be moving and changing shapes. The light starts off being red, then slowly transforms to green before switching to white. All these happen while the lights appear to be moving and changing shape. The individual who is recording this appears to have been on a date and is very confused. I mean, who wouldn't be? After a few seconds, the lights move away and eventually descend. Once this was uploaded online, the paranormal community almost unanimously agreed that we're dealing with a UFO, probably a mothership. Many said the lights we are seeing could have been around its engine or even thrusters, which is why they were changing shape ever so often. The community believes the ship may have also landed in Mexico, which is why it kept descending till it was out of sight. That does sound like an elaborate and detailed hypothesis, but that can also only be true if the clip is genuine. So what do you think? Is this the real deal, or were there red flags you simply can't ignore? A strange home surveillance video from Ecuador has surfaced showing what some believe to be a miniature creature caught in a scuffle with the family's cat. In the footage, the cat grabs the creature by its leg and shakes it violently, clearly agitated. Despite the attack, the tiny creature manages to free itself and quickly flees the scene. Some locals claim that the creature was a duende. According to folklore, cats have an innate intolerance for duendes, often attacking them on sight. Whether it was truly a duende or something else, the incident has certainly sparked curiosity and fueled more speculation about these mysterious beings. What do you think? Could this really be a duende, or is there another explanation? A subscriber recently sent in two fascinating and highly controversial images of clouds, and what they captured is quite wild. You know how sometimes we see shapes in the clouds that resemble animals or objects? Well, this is one of those instances, but on a much larger, more surreal scale. The first image they shared appears to show a massive cloud formation shaped like Godzilla. Yes, the infamous monster from the movies, and it's spot on. You don't even need to look twice. The second image gets even crazier. It depicts Godzilla's head with its mouth open and a bright beam shooting out from it, like its signature atomic breath. Now, I know we often talk about pareidolia, our brain's tendency to find familiar shapes and random patterns, but this one really does look uncanny. It's almost too perfect to be mere coincidence. Could the clouds be showing us something beyond the ordinary? Humans may all be made of flesh and bone, but each of us has unique features, appearances, and even traits that make us stand out. One especially rare and fascinating trait is called tetrachromacy. Tetrachromacy is a condition that enables certain people to see significantly more colors than the average person, about 100 million more. This is because people with tetrachromacy have an extra type of cone cell in their eyes, allowing them to perceive an astonishingly rich color palette. What may look like a single shade to most could reveal itself as a whole spectrum to them. Imagine a world with endless hues where every scene, even the mundane, bursts with colors most of us will never experience. Rainbows are typically seen after rain, and most of us recognize their familiar arc shape. But what happens when a rainbow doesn't follow the usual form? Someone recently captured a strange bright patch of colors in the sky that doesn't resemble the traditional rainbow at all. It's colorful and beautiful, but entirely different from what we're used to seeing. This could be a phenomenon known as circumhorizontal arc or fire rainbow, which occurs when sunlight passes through ice crystals in high-altitude clouds, creating a vibrant light display. However, the shape and intensity of this spectacle make you wonder if there's more to it. Perhaps this is a mysterious or fantastical element that it has, but what do you think? This was allegedly captured somewhere in Russia, and it's got the paranormal community talking. The clip initially starts off as an ordinary clip taken by someone out at sea. A few seconds in, and then you notice what looks like a portal. But that's not possible, right? I mean, portals aren't real, are they? Well, if this video is to be believed, that might just be what we're looking at. There are others who thought otherwise, though. They believed that this could be either fog around the sun or an outline around it. I get where they're coming from, but those descriptions don't seem accurate now, do they? Anyway, share your thoughts on what this might be. A woman had put her baby to sleep one night and set up a camera with a monitor connected to her phone to keep an eye on the crib. As they slept, something unsettling happened. A smoke-like figure appeared in the room, hovering over the baby's cot. Strangely, the baby didn't get up, and the figure just floated around for a moment before vanishing into thin air. The mother was understandably shocked when she discovered this later. While there's no clear backstory, like a deceased relative or anything, we can't say for certain what this entity could have been. A man discovered a striking insect in his garden one day. It looked like nothing he'd ever seen, and after seeing it myself, I shared the same sentiment. I was about to scream AI when one of our team members gave it a look and said, "The Mantis wasp fly. Cool." I looked it up, and surely enough, these things actually exist. The so-called Mantis wasp fly is a reference to the mantis fly, an insect with a remarkable mix of mantis, wasp, and fly characteristics. Mantis flies have forelegs similar to those of a praying mantis, which is what they use to ambush and grasp prey, and their bodies often mimic the appearance of wasps or flies as a defense mechanism against predators. Found worldwide, especially in warmer regions, mantis flies are small, usually between 5 to 20 millimeters, and have 2 pairs of transparent wings with intricate venation. Their larvae are sometimes parasitic, targeting spider egg sacs for nourishment. Mantis flies showcase convergent evolution independently, developing mantis-like forelegs, and their defensive mimicry helps them thrive in diverse habitats. And no, mantis flies are not aggressive towards humans. They may look intimidating due to their mantis-like forelegs and wasp-mimicking appearance, but they pose no harm to people. Mantis flies are predatory, only towards smaller insects which they ambush and capture with their specialized forelegs. Their mimicry of stinging insects like wasps is purely a defense strategy to avoid being eaten by predators, not an indication of aggression. So while they look fierce, mantis flies are harmless to humans who would rather avoid contact than confront it. This next one is a clip we featured before, but the previous clip was never the full thing. I got the enhanced version. Enjoy. Just in case this is your first time watching this on our channel, it was recorded by a man who looked out of his window one day and saw a strange being sitting on a tree in his yard. Now, what was perplexing to him was the fact that in relation to the creature's size, the tree was quite high. He's not sure how the creature got there or why it was there in the first place. In fact, the whole thing was bizarre, and scared and a little worried, he left it alone, and when he came back later, it was gone. Freaky, right? I know I've asked this before, but does anyone know what this is? Many in the paranormal community think it's a harpy, though, but I'd love to hear from you. While you decide if that's genuine or not, you may want to include the next clip as well. This clip has been circulating online lately, and the one who uploaded it insists it's a baby Bigfoot. The image was allegedly captured by hunters who saw the being while they were tracking and hunting a deer. The deer in question appears in the image as well. Despite the context and narrative surrounding this, a significant number of individuals in the paranormal community believe this is nothing more than a hoax. Some even argued that the image had circulated a few months earlier as a different being. Now, I'm all for conspiracies and whatnot, but I'm also for truth and transparency. You've seen the clip yourself. What's your final verdict? Some workers were out on the field late one night when they noticed something unusual floating by in the night sky. It was a glowing figure, faint yet unmistakable. According to the workers, this figure was the spirit of one of their colleagues who tragically passed away in a work accident. When paranormal experts reviewed the footage, they determined that the figure had an ectoplasmic quality to it, a substance often associated with spirit manifestations. You've seen the clip. What's your analysis as well? group of hikers decided to walk deep within the woods, pushing further than they'd ever gone before. After a long trek, they stopped to catch their breath. As they took in the scenery, one of them noticed that something didn't look right. Among the dense thicket of bushes, a strange, hazy area stood out. It was a spot where everything seemed to blur. It was almost like something or someone was standing there completely cloaked but still affecting the view around it. They squinted, trying to make sense of the strange sight, but the distortion seemed oddly deliberate, almost intentional. Some say it could have been a cloaked creature, something beyond our understanding. Others suggest it might have been a person using an advanced cloaking system, possibly military-grade or experimental tech. With today's rapid advancements in stealth technology, the idea isn't as far-fetched as it once would have seemed. So what exactly were these hikers seeing? Next up, we've got this clip that's left many in the paranormal community puzzled. Take a look. Tell me you saw the shadow move. Just in case you were distracted by the beautiful damsel in the first take, move your eyes to the right of the screen. There's even an arrow to make it easier. Something moves in those shadows that has this ghostly, ethereal feel to it. It's almost as though it were waiting for the lady to leave, so it moves. And the room the lady came from appears to be its target. It does appear to be humanoid, albeit a little smaller than the lady. I know that you're wondering what that is, and this is usually the part where I tell you what it is, but today I simply don't have the answers. In other words, I don't know what that is. It might be a ghost, it might be something else. One thing I'm certain of, though, is that I would love to hear your thoughts. Care to share yours in the comments section? In Weeki Wachee, Florida, a family woke up to a terrifying sight. A massive sinkhole just a few meters from their home. Look at that. The sinkhole is said to be the least 50 feet deep and almost feels surreal to imagine. But as shocking as it looks, it's not entirely unexpected. You see, Florida sits on aquifers. These are underground layers of water. When the water drains, the ground above can easily collapse, creating sinkholes. Another factor is that Florida's land is mostly made up of limestone, which dissolves over time, especially if the water in the soil becomes acidic. Over time, these conditions can lead to dramatic events like this. So while it looks like something out of a movie, it's actually a combination of natural processes that caused it. But it's still shocking to wake up one morning to find a sinkhole in your front yard. You know the movie Alien vs. Predator, right? And how the predators look, those terrifying armored creatures with their elongated heads and razor-sharp mandibles. Well, take a look at this insect a man found in his garden and tell me it doesn't look just like them. It's a black insect with an unusually long head. At one point, it even opened its mouth to reveal what seemed like razor-sharp teeth on its lower jaw. It's absolutely bizarre. The person who found it tried searching for what this creature could be, but found no match. Oh, I don't know about you, but this thing looks a lot like some kind of predator or alien creature to me. Some are saying it might be a mutated praying mantis, but no known mantis looks this terrifying. Could it be that this insect is something we've never seen before? Or did someone just make this with AI to mislead us all? Share your thoughts. Here's another mysterious capture from a trail camera. The owner set it up hoping to capture some wildlife, but when he reviewed the footage, he was in for a shock. Instead of animals, an illuminated figure appeared right in front of the camera. This being glowed intensely, its features completely obscured, leaving only a distinct, ghostly silhouette behind. The camera was set to night vision, yet it struggled to capture anything but this blazing outline. What could we be dealing with here? An interdimensional being, or perhaps a bioluminescent alien? Share your thoughts. A man was passing by a field when something caught his eye. Something odd. The horses in the field were just standing there completely still. At first, he didn't think much of it, but as he continued to watch, they remained frozen in place for far longer than would seem natural. It looked so unreal, like time itself had paused around them. The horses were in the same positions, unmoving, almost like a scene from a movie where the characters were caught in a glitch. It felt eerily like a glitch in the Matrix. What do you think? We've seen aliens before, and this clip is no different. In the clip, we see what looks like a grey alien exploring our lands. A few seconds in, and we see its ship among others. A few years ago, this would have been very exciting, but today many who saw this clip believe it's just AI generated. I'm not saying every alien clip is AI generated, but there's something about this one we just can't seem to shake off. We looked at it several times, and even Aaron is starting to think this particular one is AI generated. You've seen the clip for yourselves. What do you think? With footage from a biker exploring the woods. Two weird things happen in the footage. Have a look. At first glance, the biker seems to be enjoying himself, and the footage appears perfectly ordinary, until he mentions the broken log and his shin.
Violated that log, man. You see how that log's broken in half? My shin broke it in half.
At that point, it's clear that something went awry. Luckily, he's still riding the bike and seems unharmed. A closer look at the footage, however, and we spot a funny-looking creature in the background. The alien-looking creature doesn't look like anything you'd see or expect to find in the wild, but there it is. Also, in the first few seconds of the video, we hear a certain sound.
Violated that log, man. You see how that log's broken in half? My shin broke it in half.
Did you catch that? It sounds alien, almost reminiscent of the creature we spotted near the end of the footage. Could this be a genuine encounter? Is this our first contact with an extraterrestrial visitor? Did an alien spacecraft quietly touch down in the woods, only to be unexpectedly interrupted by the biker? And here's the kicker. Can we even trust the authenticity of the footage? Numerous questions, yet no answers. What do you think is happening here? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Can you guess what this beautiful creature is? It looks beautiful, doesn't it? But what creature is it? What species? Do you know any facts about them? If you do, tell us in the comments section. Start with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best.
Thing's kind of creepy. It's like a person's silhouette up in the clouds.
While overseeing mountain renovations during construction, a man unexpectedly spotted a figure standing atop the peak, seemingly serving as an unforeseen foreman. As he zoomed in, the realization of what he was witnessing dawned upon him. It wasn't just any mountain-dwelling creature, it was the legendary Bigfoot, standing tall and appearing rather grumpy. But why would Bigfoot be grumpy? Now, aware that Bigfoot typically inhabits mountainous regions, it became apparent that the construction crew had unwittingly chosen to give the creature's home a makeover without seeking permission. The creature's stance alone conveyed its clear displeasure with the ongoing construction work. It didn't take Bigfoot enthusiasts too long to figure this out, and when they did, they warned the construction workers, but no one took them seriously. Thankfully, no one got hurt because although grumpy, this Bigfoot had no interest in hurting any humans, just like many of the other Bigfoots we have seen around the world. Back in 2018, the US military found itself with puzzling footage of an object flying over a facility in Iraq. The object was nicknamed UAP by US intelligence. This peculiar object looked like a jellyfish, having a strange head-like feature with what looked like tentacles on it. It hovered across the facility, exhibiting color changes from white to black. Now, the experts chimed in with what their take on this celestial mystery could be. They suggested that the color-changing spectacle could be a response to temperature shifts as the object meanders through different locations. As pleasing as that may have sounded to their ears and that of their higher-ups, many were skeptical about the explanation. Despite the skepticism, many believed the military know more than they're letting on. Many thought it could be something alien, perhaps a scout drone from a reconnaissance mission beyond our solar system. Others thought this was nothing more than a mundane plastic bag or something similar stuck on a camera lens. Don't let me be the one to tell you which it could be. Having seen it with your own eyes, what do you think we're looking at? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. If you've been a faithful follower of our chronicles, you're well aware that venturing alone into the depths of the woods is a recipe for hair-raising adventures that you won't find in any travel brochure. Watch this video. The footage was captured by a lone hiker innocently embracing the serenity of nature's embrace, unaware of the chilling plot twist about to unfold. As he meanders through the leafy labyrinth, a peculiar sensation tingles down his spine, a subtle whisper of unease that only Mother Nature can master. He turned around only to spot this strange woman standing by a tree. Frozen in time, this spectral maiden gazes upon the world with a lifeless demeanor. But here's where things go from eerie to downright bone-chilling. Rivulets of a crimson-like liquid trickle down her face like a nightmarish raindrop painting her existence with an otherworldly palette. Was she a mere illusion, a puppetry of light and shadow, or did the woods conceal something far more sinister? A ritual gone awry, an ancient curse brought to life in this isolated clearing? Could it be a fallen soul trapped between realms, or a mirage concocted by the forest's twisted imagination? Or could it simply be a setup and a hoax? It's hard to say, but what do you think? There is something about mountain hiking and paranormal sightings. People who go to the highlands always seem to have a tale to tell, especially on the Appalachian Trail. This footage was uploaded onto the internet and it remains a mystery to date. A hiker went to the Appalachian Trail when he came across this strange creature. The creature looked like some kind of a bird, but was bigger. It had white feathers and a large beak. However, its eyes were big and hollow. The creature stood hidden behind a tree, so it's hard to make out the rest of its features. The internet became a canvas for the world to ponder, a virtual gallery for the enigma captured on film. Yet alas, despite the collective brainpower of the internet's denizens, the creature remains nameless, its identity as elusive as the morning mist. The realm of possibility widens. Is this an undiscovered species, an interdimensional visitor, or a resident of the paranormal's menagerie? What do you think? You know those conspiracies of there being another world within our world? The age-old tale of a hollow earth talk? Well, these guys found something that might just prove that theory.
On one of their expeditions, these individuals stumbled upon a strange hole in the ice. Out of curiosity, they took out a camera and lowered it into the hole to look inside. What they found was far beyond their own imaginations. Instead of the expected icy expanse, the camera unveiled dried ground beneath the ice. Once this footage hit the internet, many believed this was the evidence they needed to confirm that there is indeed another world existing within our world, aka the Hollow Earth. While some may dismiss it as a quirk of nature or a peculiar ice formation, these individuals let their imaginations run wild with thoughts of subterranean worlds and hidden realms. The Hollow Earth enthusiasts found a glimmer of validation in their unexpected footage. Looking at the footage, I can see why they think that, but do you share in their excitement and enthusiasm? Many don't, especially Julius, my new assistant. Aaron, the believer in all things paranormal, wanted to visit the site, but unfortunately our adventurers refused to disclose the exact location and decided to keep it their little secret. Bummer. I almost fell off my chair when I saw this next image. The picture was apparently taken on the mirror of a motorcycle. Brace yourself for it. The rider, while on the road alone, noticed a strange woman's head perched on his shoulder. The peculiar woman had her tongue out, and it was oddly longer than a normal human tongue. Her eyes were pure white, and the skin around her eyes was dark. Keep in mind that when he saw the woman, he was alone on the motorcycle. He hadn't picked up a passenger, and neither had he made a stop that could allow anyone to join him. So who or what on earth was this human sitting behind him? Many in the online community state that it has to be a spirit. Others think the whole thing is a hoax. What do you think? Now let's turn our gaze to the majestic and quiet character, the bull elk, a fellow who's got a peculiar way of preparing for the grand dance of romance. Look at this gentle giant adorned with an impressive crown of antlers, ready to woo the cow elks with a performance that can only be described as unconventional. Behold the spectacle known as wallowing, a practice that might seem to human eyes as if our dashing bull is getting a little too cozy with the mud. But lo and behold, there's more to this than meets the eye. The bull elk, with an air of determination worthy of a rom-com hero, plunges his antlers into the soft embraces of the earth as if he's a maestro conducting an opera of attraction. But let's not be too hasty in judgment, for in the animal kingdom, the concept of charm takes on unique forms, much like the varying genres of our favorite films. While we humans dress to the nines and dab on fragrances to woo potential partners, the animal realm takes a different route. Our dapper bull, it seems, has traded in designer suits for a mud bath, a perfume of his own making, a distinctive aroma of earthiness mingled with, well, his brand. You see, the bull elk takes the art of seduction to a whole new level. Covered in a concoction of mud and, yes, his urine, he struts his stuff in an attempt to turn the heads, or should I say hooves, of the cow elks. They sometimes do this for health reasons too, but I'm betting this guy is doing it for romance. He looks like a true lover boy channeling his inner Casanova through earthly extravagance. What do you think? Aliens are all the buzz now, and we can understand why, but this is footage from some years ago, and we can't even emphasize enough how eerie-looking it is. Take a look. So, what do you see in the footage? Did you initially think it was an alien or an extraterrestrial being? If so, I wouldn't blame you. Interestingly, some individuals have been sharing snapshots of this creature on paranormal pages, claiming it to be an alien. But what if I told you that this isn't an alien at all? What if I said that what you're seeing is actually a bear? Would you be surprised?
The creatures you're witnessing in the footage are actually bears that supposedly reside in a sanctuary in Germany. Strangely, they began losing their fur at a certain point without any apparent reason. In fact, even the zookeepers couldn't pinpoint the exact cause. Either way, you have to admit that bears look pretty different when they don't have their coating and fur. Although the circumstances are unfortunate, it's interesting to see.
I'm a homeless female. I live right in the middle of the woods. 151 to north of Claymore. 1604 was lighter. This big thing was 75 feet away from me, smells awful, devoured a whole deer carcass, and then took off and, screamed, screeched, and took off across the street.
A woman walking near the woods at around 1 a.m. had an encounter that left her shaken. She called the police, describing a huge creature feasting on a deer before it ran off, screeching into the woods. She managed to take this video, which shows a pair of eerie, glowing eyes staring back from the darkness. According to her, the creature smelled terrible, and despite the scare, she wasn't harmed. However, the unsettling detail she shared was the sound it made, a screech. This is not typical of wolves, lions, coyotes, or any usual predator she knew of. It reminds me of the Voldemort evil forest scene from the first Harry Potter movie when he was feeding on the unicorn. You have to wonder, though, if this wasn't a known animal, what was it? Could she have encountered a cryptid?
This big thing was 75 feet away from me, smells awful, devoured a whole deer carcass, and then took off and, screamed, screeched, and took off across the street.
If you have a fear of snakes, you might want to skip a few seconds ahead. If you're not and love snakes, then enjoy. And I should have warned you about the jump scare. Oh, that was wild, wasn't it? The snake missed the man by a few inches. I'm not sure what caused the man to investigate, but he sure has someone praying for him and an angel watching over him too. I mean, that's the only explanation I could come up with. That snake was certainly not messing around, and he would have surely found out if he had not reacted in time. This may just have unlocked a new fear in me. To all the snake enthusiasts, what snake was that, and how does a snake get into a ceiling? Kindly share your thoughts. Behold the spectacle that beckons us into the heart of the woods, a sight that prompts us to question our senses. Is that a tree sprouting horns? But hold your breath, dear observers, for truth often dances on the fine line between the extraordinary and the everyday. While our minds may be inclined to plunge into the depths of the paranormal, this tale hails from a different realm, one where the spirits of tradition and ritual intertwine with the roots of the earth itself. As people of the paranormal community are tempted to believe this is a tree growing horns. Fear not, dear enthusiasts of the unexplained, for the answer for this enigma lies within the annals of human history. There is an ancient ritual where the natives of the land back then put the slaughtered heads of rams into the trunk of the tree. With time as their muse, they fused with the very fibers of the tree, becoming one with its essence, an immortal testament to the connection between the tangible and the mystical. That's what's happening here, at least we think so. If you believe it's mystical, however, we won't take that from you. Photobombing is typically associated with human antics, but when another species gets in on the act, it seems that wildlife might just have more fun than we do. It's almost like a scene out of The Penguins of Madagascar, offering a glimpse into the world beyond human understanding. Take a look. This snapshot was taken, uploaded, and shared on a scorching afternoon. Amid the expanse of a sprawling plantation, two lovers are clearly reveling in the moment. Perhaps they were on a land hunting adventure, exploring a few acres of the plantation. Little did they realize their joyful moment was about to be unexpectedly interrupted by an intruder lurking in the trees. A brown-hued creature perched in the trees, emanating an air of unwavering confidence with its effortlessly executed pose. Currently, the identity of this photobomber remains a mystery, though its distinctive brown appearance is evident. Could it be a small creature like a squirrel moving in the background? Is it a much larger creature like a bear, or possibly a cryptid? Well, the online community is divided about this. What do you think?
For our next footage, my team and I have been in a heated debate over what exactly we are looking at here. A person captured this hovering above them late at night. It was a triangular-shaped object with 3 lights on its points and a distinct red light at the center. Julius argues this is a drone with lights attached. He's convinced that nothing about this sighting is out of the ordinary. Meanwhile, Aaron insists it's a classic triangular-shaped UFO, similar to other sightings reported around the world. So here we are with the whole team divided into Team Drone and Team UFO. Honestly, I'm staying neutral on this one, so I'd like you to weigh in. Look closely at the footage. What do you think this is? A drone or a UFO? A family decided to spend a few days at their cabin in the woods, hoping for a peaceful retreat. Now, a cabin in the woods rarely sets the scene for anything good, right? But let's see what happened here.
15 plus 15.
Did you hear that? Hey, did you hear that?
You're right.
As they were settling in for the night, the father heard a strange noise outside. Curious, but cautious, he grabbed his phone and a flashlight and went out to check for himself. And this is what he captured on camera. Behind a tree, right outside their cabin door, a pale face peeked out, staring directly at him before quickly ducking back out of sight. This wasn't a person. Whatever it was had an unnatural look to it, enough to keep the family up all night, anxiously awaiting daylight. And once morning came, they didn't waste a second packing their bags, vowing never to return. So what could that mysterious figure have been? Something supernatural, or perhaps an unknown creature of the woods?
15 plus 15.
Did you hear that? Hey, did you hear that?
You're right.
Now let's shift gears and bask in the heartwarming embrace of nature's comedians, the southern pigtailed macaques, the real VIPs of the jungle catwalk. These fuzzy mischief makers, known scientifically as Macaca nemestrina, are the stars of today's show. Confused? Watch this. Cute, right? Well, don't let their cherubic appearances fool you. For beneath those innocent faces lie the souls of true tricksters. Observe as they gather round the camera like paparazzi at a Hollywood premiere, curiously inspecting this alien contraption in their jungle paradise. They hop, they skip, they swing, and all the while they're plotting their next grand caper. What could that be, you ask? Hold on to your bananas, folks, for the climax is nigh. One brave, or should we say brazen, member of the troupe steps up to the plate with a glint of mischief in those mischievous eyes. It reaches out to snag the device. Is it successful, though? Well, we're watching the footage, meaning they never got away with it. Although the camera falls out of place, for some odd reason, these monkeys are unable to get away with it, fortunately for their owner. But have you had any encounters with monkeys or apes of any kind? Did they steal anything from you? Tell us in the comments section, as we'd really love to know. This next footage you're about to see was captured on a trail cam, seemingly during the near darkness of night. In the capture, we see a dense forest of trees, setting the scene for our intriguing discovery. In the center of the capture, we see a mysterious object that's practically unidentifiable. It might appear to be part of the foliage at first, but upon closer inspection, we start to see it for what it really is, a creature with peculiar scales and a green hue, giving it an otherworldly appearance. There's no way it looks like any type of plant. I mean, a little like maize, but there's no way it would pass for one. The creature, or whatever it is, also appears to have a rugged texture adorned with spikes, leaving no surface untouched. In fact, it could almost be mistaken for the relic of a cryptid encounter. Taking a gander at its suspended leg uncannily resembles that of a lizard or a chicken, perhaps. Is this an example of a mutated animal, or could it be an entirely new form of cryptid? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
When it comes to UFO encounters, you mostly hear accounts of one saucer sighting, but in this intriguing footage captured in 2023, a woman's camera lens captured a fleet of saucers dancing in the celestial expanse.
What the fuck?
Not just one, but 3, possibly 4, or perhaps even more of these enigmatic flying objects gracing the firmament. A speculation abounds, with some quick to dismiss these celestial dancers as mere drones. A closer inspection reveals the unmistakable silhouette of the classic saucer. You guys see it too, right? What do you think? Please tell us in the comments section. While on a United Airlines flight flying over Denver, Colorado, a passenger spotted this object fly past them. His initial thoughts were, "Oh, a bird." But hey, let's be real, if this was a bird, it'd be one super bird. Whatever this was, it was moving at a speed it would make even the fastest planes look on in envy. Once home, the passenger shared this footage on Reddit, and everyone who saw it was amazed. The speculative buzz surrounding this mysterious object undoubtedly sparked countless debates. Many were quick to point out that it was a saucer. This left them all with more questions than answers. Was it a top-secret government experiment, a cutting-edge aircraft with mind-boggling speed capabilities, or dare we say it, a genuine encounter with visitors from another world? UFO enthusiasts and skeptics alike must have had a field day dissecting every pixel of the footage, scrutinizing for clues, and undoubtedly conjuring up a plethora of conspiracy theories. Hopefully it's what they hope for it to be. And if it is, then you and I are in some serious trouble.
If you have followed and been on this channel for long, you know we only love to post trail cam captures, but this next one has us so spooked that we just had to show it to you. Have a look. The video starts with what looks like a couple of friends enjoying a drive. This atmosphere is, however, interrupted when they realize that there's something chasing them, which is weird because they're on a highway. Glancing behind, they spot a figure, or perhaps a humanoid-like creature in pursuit. In a matter of seconds, the creature closes in, prompting them to accelerate. But how could it catch up so quickly? Who or what is this? Even Usain Bolt might struggle to match such speed. Upon closer examination, we notice the creature's white or pale skin and distinctly human-like features. Yet the extraordinary speed and appearance defy any human explanation. Our thoughts turn to the possibility of a cryptid, perhaps even the infamous rake. But can a rake move with such speed? Well, that remains a mystery, but what do you guys think? I doubt you've seen a woodpecker video funnier than this. Just watch. Now, this is something you don't come across every day, and yes, that's a woodpecker hammering, or should I say, pecking away at the window pane. It's unclear why, but if this was a restaurant and it was human, maybe a Karen, I'd say it really needed to speak to the manager. But these knocks aren't random, they've got a distinct rhythm. Pay close attention and you'll notice. It's almost as though the lad's been training in music and could distinguish between quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. All jokes aside, the beaks on those birds never cease to amaze me. They must possess remarkable strength and intensity to carry out their remarkable feats. Just imagining doing that with my head gives me a headache. Still, it's an impressive video, don't you think?
Speaking of aliens, this next image was taken on a trail camera at around 3:45 a.m. The camera was 1 to 1.5 miles off the road and on private property. In the image, we can see a man in a white top and trousers. He had in his hand a storage box. However, what captures attention and sparks intrigue is the peculiar appearance of the man's face. With many questions looming, theories began to fly out of the community. Some suggested it could simply be a man wearing a hat. Others thought it had to be otherworldly, and some also believed it was an extraterrestrial trying to blend in. Which of these do you think is most likely the situation? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I have much to say, but perhaps in the next episode. Until then, enjoy. Our next clip features a creature that was liberated from its icy confines. What the liberator expected to be a creature from the Ice Age turned out to be something that looks like the offspring of the Night King of Game of Thrones. The creature was blue and had a pair of human arms and legs. Its face resembled a baby, but its body looked like an adult creature. If we know anything about conspiracy theories and alien enthusiasts, it's that things like this make the hairs on their necks stand up. Naturally, once this image was posted online, many theories came from both camps. Some argued that it was a relic from an ancient civilization frozen in time and waiting to be on Earth, while others stated that we are looking at something of cosmic origin preserved in the icy embrace of the Earth. As the debate raged on, the skeptics and logical ones stated that this was nothing more than an elaborate hoax. They stated that this had to be photoshopped. Looking at the image, I get where they're coming from. But what if, just what if, this is truly real? Think about it. As much as we'd love to properly investigate this and bring you answers, I guess we can't. Next, we have this trail cam footage that's had us scratching our heads. What do you see in the footage? It starts off looking like your everyday trail cam capture, a nice capture of a raccoon going about its business in the evening, but look up. Do you see it? Right in the top corner of the footage, there are a set of lights moving in a way that makes me believe they're from the same aircraft. But no human aircraft have lights arranged like that unless I'm unaware, which I highly doubt. To add to that, there are no flight paths where this footage was taken. What could we be dealing with then? Well, the answer is simple, a potential spacecraft. Just a few weeks ago, my claims might have seemed far-fetched, but considering that certain well-known government entities are now monitoring spacecrafts, I don't think I'm too far off the mark. Seriously though, what do you think that thing in the footage is? Tell us in the comments section. The stage is set for a spine-tingling tale from the depths of the unknown. In this footage, we have a crew of brave sewage workers descending into the underbelly of an abandoned sewer in Liverpool, but guess what they encounter on their way down? As the intrepid explorers ventured deep into the subterranean labyrinth, a flicker of movement in the shadows caught their attention. A mysterious figure, an enigmatic intruder lurking in the darkness. Did I say intruder? It looked like it was pretty much at home. Perhaps the sewage workers were the ones invading its home and had to make sure it was safe. Either way, eager to capture this unearthly encounter, they whipped out their trusty recording device, turning the scene into a reel straight out of a found footage thriller. And there, in the obsidian abyss, behold the unexpected, a pair of luminous eyes akin to stars glimpsing through the fabric of the cosmos. As soon as the eyes noticed they were being filmed or watched, they retreated. Within seconds, however, those glowing eyes return, accompanied by a spectral arm reaching out from the darkness, its fingers tracing the very walls as if they held secrets untold. Alas, the jig was up. The creature had been caught in the spotlight, and in a flash it scurried away like a character fleeing the scene of a crime. What manner of being is this, you ask? A creature straddling the line between the human and the monstrous, its arms hinting at a humanoid form, while its radiant eyes evoke the eerie allure of the unknown. There's only one creature that fits this description, the Rake. What do you think?
You're about to see him again. Just watch up above the horizon, and they're going to get really bright, and then they're going to go away. See them? There's two of them right there. Those are not airplanes.
Yeah, they keep circling.
They just keep circling, and they're going to go away.
And there's nothing on your radar right now?
No, there's nothing there. I can zoom out.
Now the light's going out.
They're gone.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
A couple times in this area.
A private jet was cruising at around 40,000 feet over New Mexico with none other than Charlie Kirk on board when the pilot spotted something strange. According to the pilot, he noticed what looked like orbs moving in circles, appearing and disappearing, seemingly at random. They believe these are UFOs, and interestingly enough, they didn't show up on the radar at all. And let's not forget that New Mexico has long been at the center of UFO lore dating back to the famous Roswell incident. So are these just weather phenomena, or could they really be extraterrestrial in nature?
Those are not airplanes.
Yeah, they keep circling.
They just keep circling, and they're going to go away.
And there's nothing on your radar right now?
No, there's nothing there. I can zoom out.
Now the light's going out.
They're gone.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
A couple times in this area.
Cloud got sparkly lights in it. I've never seen no like that. Moving weird.
This next footage comes from South Philly, where a resident caught something in the sky. It was a strange, almost jellyfish-like cloud that was wobbling in a way no regular cloud should. It had a translucent quality to it, and there was something else that made it even stranger. There were small, shimmery things in it. It wobbled like how a jellyfish floats through the water, pulsating in a way that felt almost alive. But of course, jellyfish don't float in the sky, so what could this be? Some say it resembles a cloaked object moving through the sky, while others think it could be an unknown type of weather pattern. What do you think?
Cloud got sparkly lights in it. I've never seen no like that. Moving weird.
A man had parked his car one early morning around 5 a.m. There was a lot of fog, and he thought he was all alone, until this appeared. Directly ahead, emerging from the haze, was a shadowy figure standing just off to the side of the woods. The figure had a humanoid shape, but seemed still. It stood there, facing him, silent and motionless. The figure didn't budge, didn't make a sound. It was as if it was watching him, just standing there, barely visible, but with an unmistakable presence. The whole thing was a tad eerie, and it left him thinking, what if this wasn't human at all? The figure seemed too calm, too composed for a person lost in the woods. Could it be a skinwalker or some other being? A woman from Hawaii had set up a motion sensor surveillance camera in her room for extra security while she was away. One day, she received a notification about movement in her home and decided to check the footage. What she found was far from anything she expected. In the video, there were white shadowy figures moving around her room. These forms didn't look like typical dust particles. Instead, they appeared to be moving with intent, gliding across the space in an eerie, purposeful manner. The woman believes these could be some sort of entity, possibly passing through a portal that allowed them to enter her home. Since this sighting, she claims strange things have continued happening around the house, leading her to suspect there might be more to this encounter than just a technical glitch. Aaron is intrigued by this, while Julius is, well, being Julius. What are your thoughts on this?
If the enigmatic lady gave you shivers, what follows might just send you tumbling into a whirlwind of spine-tingling disbelief. Brace yourselves, for the stage is now set for a nightmarish performance captured by the ever-watchful lens of a trail cam. A creature not of this world or realm emerges from the shadows, a colossal figure, wolf-like in form, but oh so much more. Glowing eyes pierce through the darkness, their radiance reminiscent of moonlight. This entity, this aberration that defies the very fabric of logic, boasts muscles that will make even Schwarzenegger raise an eyebrow. Imagine a wolf sculpted by the hands of a bodybuilder, a creature whose brawn could wrestle with the very essence of fear itself. As if that was not enough, it has a face that strikes terror into the hearts of the stoutest souls. Although we may never experience its bite, it has teeth that appear to be as sharp as a guillotine's blade, and for some odd reason it has eyes locked onto the camera with great, yet fearful intensity. That's certainly no ordinary wolf. I mean, its features look like a splice between human and wolf DNA. The proportions are all wrong. This creature stands defiantly on the outskirts of normalcy, its very size a challenge to reality itself. If you love the paranormal, identifying this shouldn't be too hard. It's definitely a werewolf. But is this image real, though? If there truly is a creature out there that looks like this, well, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think? Still on the subject of Bigfoot, you might want to see this next footage taken that might just be the most controversial Bigfoot post we have ever made. In the first few seconds of the footage, we see a struggle between whoever is recording and a larger creature. The creature appears ape-like. According to the explorer whose video it is, that was a scuffle between himself and Bigfoot. Sounds wild, right? And there's more to the story. This intrepid explorer claims to have successfully killed the creature. He even provides pictures and, more astonishingly, the corpse's evidence. Let's take a look. Yep, that's Bigfoot according to the explorer. He actually believes and states he killed Bigfoot. If you're struggling to see the Bigfoot in the footage, it might be due to his actions, but let's pause for a moment. What are your thoughts? Could he have indeed met the creature, or is this a made-up story to get famous? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments section.
Another homeowner, but this time in the Colorado mountains, shared a strange experience online. He'd been hearing eerie footsteps on his deck, but when he went out to check, there was no one there. Curious, he decided to review the footage from his doorbell camera, and what he saw shocked him. The camera captured a large ape-like creature walking outside of the door. The creature was moving on 2 feet, and its size was massive. The homeowner believes this creature could be a Bigfoot. However, not everyone is convinced. Julius claims the footage is AI-generated, and even Aaron pointed out the creature's arms aren't as long as the traditional descriptions of Bigfoot would suggest. What do you think? Could this be a genuine sighting of Bigfoot, or is it just a clever digital fabrication? This home security camera footage captured something truly mysterious. A winged creature was seen flying across the frame. Its wings resembled those of a butterfly, but the silhouette revealed something even stranger, a human-like figure with wings on its back. Could it be a fairy? What's even more baffling is that the creature appeared to be glowing as it flew, giving it an ethereal, otherworldly presence. The combination of its glowing form and humanoid shape with delicate wings raises all sorts of questions. Was this a streak of light, a rare natural phenomenon, or something straight out of folklore? What are your thoughts on this glowing winged creature?
This eerie footage comes from the shores of the Black Sea in Russia, where an unsettling sight has captured everyone's attention. A strange black goo-like substance has completely blanketed the shoreline, making it impossible to see the actual water. The footage shows workers shoveling the bizarre material in bags, but what could it possibly be? These days, it seems like our oceans are becoming a dumping ground for all kinds of mysterious and harmful substances. The dark sheen and viscosity of the goo are unnerving. What's even more concerning is the lack of transparency around situations like this. Is this the result of a spill or an illegal dumping operation? And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we will post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love. See you in the next one. And once again, Merry Christmas.